And now that we're talking about the effects that it will have, of course, we also have to put the health implication, health effects it will have on the larger part of the population than the interest of just a few persons. That's the manufacturers, the food vendors, like you mentioned. But you are an environmentalist. Help us understand how long styrofoams last. And this also brings to mind a time in Lagos State. Just to add, Lagos State has been at the fore of this ban, single-use plastics and styrofoams. It was met with a lot of reactions, but it seems many persons are beginning to comply. So talk to us about how long and how degradable these styrofoams are, and at the long run, what effect it will have on the health of the population.
See, I barely hear you what you're saying, but I can put a 1 + 1 into your question. It's like you're asking for health implication and environmental impact of banning of this plastic pollution. Okay, let's start with health implication. The styrofoam and single-use plastic. Let's even say what are the single-use plastic? We're talking of low-density polyethylene, which we call PET, that we use in containing our liquid and we use in serving food for maybe easygoing, we don't have time, you just want to pack your food. That's what we refer to as single use, and it's been disposed of after one use. Now, the health implication is that at the production level, there is toxin that is being produced at high level from these PETs. So that toxin, if it's reacting with, it can react with your food or liquid at high temperature, and that is cancerous in nature. That is the health implication, and that's one of the reasons why we too supported it. And in all honesty, even at global level, because we just finished the INC 4 conference, United Nations Environmental Protection Conference on plastic pollution and the marine in Ottawa, which I have the opportunity of participating. And even at global level, they are not looking at banning. They are only looking at how do we put proper management in place and targeting the manufacturer and the user of this plastic, the heavy manufacturer and the user, so that from the manufacturing end, how will they reduce the effect of the toxins that are present in the hydrocarbon during production? That's where they are looking at. From the usage, they are looking at putting proper waste management in place that will remove, reduce, recover, and reuse the plastic. So, even though the committee have not come to a final conclusion, but there is one thing I experienced during the conference. The conference, maybe about 4,500 people participated in the conference from about 173 countries. Nobody is allowed to go in with PET bottle. You must come in with your water bottle. And you are not supposed to even bring your food with plastic. And I think that is the kind of, the type of policy the federal government is trying to implement. For the federal government, 750,000 population, no scanning machine at the federal secretariat, which has more than maybe 50% of almost all the population of the civil servant, no recycling material or color-coded plastic container that will collect this when being used. And don't forget, even the vendor that are selling this, some of them are civil servants. They will sneak in this plastic. So the implementation is one of the problems that they have to look into. That's one. For the environmental aspect, the impact is that, one, we have policy on waste management. Since inception of Ministry of Environment, from 1999, we have had policy on waste management. And plastic management is part of it. But in 2022, there was a general acceptance for the policy to ban plastic use by 2025. So because of the environmental impact in the area of flooding, causing flooding, clogging our drainages and canals. But at the same time, how do we get to this level? If we put in proper waste management program and infrastructure, the plastic industry, global market value of plastic industry worldwide is about $800 and something billion. Yes. Global plastic market analysis that contributing to the GDP. In Nigeria, the plastic recycling industry, about $10 billion. So when we look at that economic implication, that's why I am trying to look at it in this way. Is it the right time when even the minimum wage has not been agreed to? The cost implication is that if there is no alternative that the civil servant can afford to buy the new packaging, which will include use of paper plates, single bottle water, and even putting water dispenser in our ministries, because there is no potable water, no public water, and we must survive. I'm a field man in the area of waste management in Nigeria. I have worked in 3 different landfills. I've worked in Oyo, I've worked in Lagos, I've worked in Kaduna, I've worked in Enugu. And I know that even since the time we are campaigning about waste plastic recycling, we have not attained more than 10%. So since the time we have been campaining for this, so we need to work